Okay, year 10, so let's have a look at what we need to do today on Monday, October the 13th. First of all, you'll need to, obviously you can do this from the textbooks which are at the back, but if I show you how to do it using the online book, of course you can use the online book too if you prefer. If we go into Mira OCR GCSE Spanish Higher, and remember to get into there, we just go home and then we go curriculum and then we go MFL and then we go into the resources includes online books and then go into Mira OCR GCSE Spanish Higher. Once we've opened this up, if I just drop this down a little bit, we're going to go into the grammar page at the bottom here, not de paseo por Sevilla, which is where you are at the moment, but onto grammar, because over the course of the week, if you remember me saying on Friday, we're going to try to build up to being able to write something in the future tense. So in order to do that, last Friday, we looked at the near future tense, and now I want us to move on to the normal future tense. So that would be, as we were talking about on Friday, I will do this or I will do that. So we click open the grammar page here and then going through into enter. When this finally loads up, if we then just drop down to the bottom here and go into contents, and then we go into grammatica and then click down, we're just looking for the future tense here, and these are the pages that you started to look at on Friday. So you'll see that it's got the explanation over here on the left hand side about the near future tense. But what we're going to try to move on to is this, the future tense. And what I'd like you to do before you do anything else is to do this activity here. So this is exercise 2. If I click open, what it's asking us to do is to change all of the verbs from the immediate future into the future tense. So this is from the near future that we were talking about the other day into the proper future tense here. So for example, the example that's given is en el futuro el mundo va a ser muy diferente. Instead of using va a ser, we're going to change it to the future tense of the verb ser, which is será. First of all, if we look over here, it tells us how to do it. So if I click that open, it tells us that to form the future tense of most verbs, you take the infinitive of the verb and add the following endings. So it's as, a, hemos, eis, an, and these are the future tense endings. These verbs down here are the verbs that you don't take the infinitive for. So they have irregular stems in the future and also in the conditional. So if you wanted, you could make a note of these verbs here, because these are the verbs that have irregular stems in the future and the conditional. So this is how we form it. So if we go on to the next one and have a look at this, we've got, let's have a look. En el futuro, el mundo va a ser muy diferente porque la tecnología va a mejorar. So we can tell that mejorar must be an infinitive. Two reasons. One is that it ends in AR. Secondly is because it's got va a in front of it, which means to say that technology is going to whatever mejorar means. Now, first of all, we will find out what mejorar means, but we don't need to be able to do that to change the verb into the future tense, because if I look here and go over to this list here, we notice that mejorar isn't over here. Now, mejorar means to improve. So let's just open a different tab over here and just check that, because of course, don't forget that you can check this too if you wanted to note this down into your vocab book. So if I look onto here and I go into Spanish to English and then mejorar, like so. As I said, it's to improve. So that's what that needs to be. So if I go back onto this page, what I need to write down, and I'm going to do this onto my board that I've got ready. So instead of saying va a mejorar, what you need to be able to write down is we need to be able to take this verb and we need to put it into the future tense instead. So we're going to say mejorar, which is the infinitive, and let's just quickly go back into our Chrome page here. And as I said, it's not down on here, so we just need to look for the ending here. It's the third person because it's ba a rather than boy a or bas a, which is the third person. Let me just show you where I'm getting that from. So this is from here. It's the third one down here, ba. So take that out, get back down onto this one. It's the third one again, read across. The ending is A accent on that. So if I just go back onto my board, all I need to do is to write down A with an accent, and that's what I need you to do with that activity. Now you can do that in one of two ways. You can either copy the whole of this paragraph out into your book and change just the bits that are in the near future, va a ser to será, or va a mejorar into mejorará, or you can just copy down each of the near future tenses that are in there and then change them into the proper future tense. So that's the first thing that I want you to do. You could then, if you wanted, translate the text into English, which would be quite useful, but you don't have to do that tomorrow if you don't want to. It would be useful to try to take notes. It would be useful to go through this and think, I don't understand this word or I don't understand that word, so I'm just going to quickly look those words up and jot those down, but you don't have to do that. The other thing that I would like you to do in today's lesson is to go on to Languages Online, which is here. And once we go into languagesonline.org.uk, just slip down the left-hand side there and click onto Español. And then we're going to click onto this hyperlink, which is grammar. And then we go down, and what we're actually looking for here is we're looking for the one where it says the future tense. So open that up, and I need you just to do exercises 2 all the way down to 7 down there. Now, I find it useful to have another tab opened up, or I would, if I was you, I would find this this useful. So if I'm on Languages Online and just go into the main website and then go back in through like this, so grammar, and then go into the future tense, and then just open up the future tense explanation, and then you've got it written down in front of you, and then you just go back onto your tab, the first original tab, you go onto the exercise there, and all we're trying to do on this one, for example, is we're trying to get the right ending. So from the Mira book, we've already seen it was e, so we just tick through in there. You can either find that in the Mira book, or you can go into your little tab here on Languages Online and read it through there, because all of the information is exactly the same. If you look down here, it's got the same verbs down here, which are the irregular ones, and it's got the same endings here, which it's also got in the Mira book as well. So that's what I need you to do in Monday's lesson.